Well, hello, Mr. Barfield.
I tell you what happened though, Donald. I was walking around the house and I was like high as fuck apparently because I was a little while ago, and I just got through smoking, some of that high THCA stuff, and I was like, I was looking at all the stuff that was charging, and all the stuff that was plugged in and all the electricity through the house. I was like, holy fucking shit, bro. Man, everything in this fucking house is run on, it just blew me away, because once again, that is a great source of bullshit, man. That's some good shit.
Well, just think about it. You could not even have the thoughts you had without electricity. Electrochemical electricity is what creates thoughts. And without electricity, you know what? You couldn't even thought what you thought. Saw your brother. I missed you for a while.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I'll tell you this, I don't know.
Are we being recorded or not?
No, we're not recording.
Oh, okay. Well, so that changes how I actually, interact. I don't want to have to be proper. I want to be call you a cocksucker when I want to.
You son of a bitch, a cocksucker, you.
That's right. See, I can't do that when it's on the live stuff because that's disrespectful.
Look at him. He's such a BB boy.
Do I now? I'm sorry. You broke up, brother. What'd you say?
Him a BB boy.
No, you're a big boy. And you're a big pretty boy.
Yeah, but I just wanted to, kind of catch you up. I know you probably, but I'm gonna tell you, him getting kicked out of there was a big blow. That second one, okay.
Well, no, in all honesty, man, I've missed that, the interaction we had and shit. I don't know, y'all could talk some of that stuff, and I guess because of the other, I've just kind of ignored it. And, we just kind of missed that thing, and I have too. God, I miss that getting up in the morning going, oh, wow, and starting a conversation.
Yeah. Just the year got all, but now, there's a lot of horn honking around here, man.
Horn honking?
Yeah. What the fuck, man?
What the hell is horn honking?
Horn honking. Somebody's back there near Jennifer and them house honking a horn.
Jesus, brother. You okay? You're not going to die, are you?
This is good shit. I guess it's good. I don't know. It makes me... Hey, dog. Oof. I hit it so hard.
All right, so horn honking. Let's go back to the horn honking.
Yeah. Somebody back there on the back of the road behind me is honking horns. I'm talking
honking.
About like
see, okay, there you go. That makes more sense.
Now, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
That's exactly what I was saying. But yeah, I understand, my friend.
Well,
go ahead. Keep coughing, brother. Get that peak, and we're gonna have our conversation. I love your peeking with that hacking.
I was just, but anyway, I see a vehicle. I see lights. I see electricity,
Ooh. Well, see, I see it too, because everything works via electric. And the fact that you actually said you see electricity means electricity happened in your brain. The synapses connected electrons, and it made a thought, because your thoughts are all electricity. So what do you think about that, Colin? You need some feedback, Daddy.
Well, I'm the universe, and I'm devouring what's in front of me. That is, I smell what you're stepping in. That is, I'm picking down I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Right.
What is it, though? What is it?
What do you want to narrow down to? Well, I really think it's, the essence of life that kind of moves through us. Now, we call it electrons, and you can direct them. Electricity is a theory. We see it by you flip a switch and you have a light inside your house. It runs through a tungsten vacuum tube thing, incandescent light bulb, and, creates light because it gets heat, the heat and its energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It's already there. So, yeah, it goes back to, if you see a glow in the distance, is it real or you're actually living it? But it does fall down to electricity is the essence of thought. Without those electrical connections, you couldn't even ask this question.
Okay, so can I get a piece of electricity and put it inside of a jar and keep it?
Yeah, you actually can. A lightning bug. That is a form of electricity. We did it when we was kids. You take it's an electrochemical reaction inside the body that creates incandescent light. It was electricity that created incandescent light. So if you put one lightning bug in a jar, you have actually saw it. So you can. But how deep do you want to go with it? If you want just the results of it, lightning bugs, it's a chemical reaction within their body that creates incandescent, luminous, visible light, which is a form of energy.
Okay. But energy's always changing. So, like, if I put a battery and a light inside of a jar, eventually, if I don't change that battery, give it some kind of a source, then I won't see electricity. That is, I won't see light. Does electricity make light? Or is that something else? Something else makes light.
Well, light is just...
What is that?
Well, I mean, if you put a battery in a jar, you're always going to end up with a battery in a jar. You've got to have a interaction between the positive and negative to have a reaction to prove electricity, because electricity is not a fact, it's a theory. We see light, but it's still an interaction between the positive and the negative going through a medium, and all we see is the result of it. So, like incandescent bulbs, positive, negative, the electrons flow, there's a resistance. So the opposition to the resistance of the flow from positive and negative bleeds into the visible band, which creates incandescent light. There's still so much waste. It's, the LEDs are more efficient, but you're still seeing the same thing. It's still that breach of the positive to negative with a gating polarity that creates the light. That's why the colors change. You change the frequency, the bandwidth of the light. How do these people think these things change color? It's all frequency. Light is a particle and a wave, and if you change the wave's frequency, you get a different particle. So you get red, blue, green. All these lights, they pop behind the TVs, are multicolored lights. That's electricity. And all they're doing is they're changing the tone, frequency, and time. But everybody
No
goes,
way.
oh, electricity's not real.
No way.
Well, bitch, I
No
tell you
way.
what, you wait till you don't have it, then you tell me what electricity is.
Okay, let's dig a little bit deeper.
Oh,
You're telling me
please.
that. You're telling me that. Then what? Then how does binary code or computers come into the mix with that?
Well, because it's all thresholds, all right? So if you look at a 0 to 5 volt threshold, all right, well, because of natural selection and timing and drain theory and stuff, because you open the drain to your tub, does it drain instantly? Does it take a tiny bit of time? Transistors work the same way. You've got gating effect, you get draining effect. Does that help anything?
Okay. Well, I mean, you get it. You gave me the first step. I mean, you got to go.
All right, well, ask the next question. I mean, I'm trying to, go ahead, please.
Okay, well, I'm just curious. I mean, you talked about what now, the very first time you started describing it. You called it was it the essence of life? What was it? How did you describe it? Do you remember?
Well, I'm not sure which part of our conversation. If you're talking about
just
the light or...
At the very first, you said it's the essence of life, or it's the something like that. It's something big, you know.
Well, it was, but well, I mean, the essence of electricity is the essence of life. You know, I think I know where you're trying to say. Is you know, you asked a question, but do you realize it took electricity in your mind to actually ask that question? It took the connection of synapses, positive and negative electrons in your head, and it's all chemical, you know, between the synapses, and of course, now this is where you get into smoking THC, CBD. Each one of those chemical compositions depends on how those synapses connect. All right, so if you go to 0 to 5 volts, clear thinking. Let's just say it's 0 volts. Unclear thinking is 7. So in the middle is, 2.5. You know, and so everything you do is conducive to how your brain works. But you find pathways. That's part of memory. Memory is I keep telling you, I'm a squirrel brain. Man, I trace my passes of memory in my head all the day. If you don't trace the past, they get forgotten. This is memory. That's the way I understand it. If you don't follow it, you lose it. If you keep following it, then you remember it. But it don't mean you like it. You know? What do you think, Brad? Go ahead, tell me.
Well, here's what I was thinking. I had pulled back the lens way far, and I was you mentioned it was the essence of life, and we had talked about everything in the house is being powered by this stuff, and we talked about our brains being powered by it, and then I backed up the microscope way back, and I turned it into a telescope, and I went out to Mars, and I looked at the Earth and the Sun. I mean, that's why I said, is it power the whole universe? I mean, that's not really, I don't know if fusion can really be, is that a form of electricity? Or is that?
Oh, yes. It's the release of the change of matter. Fusion is we take hydrogen and we force it together to create H2 or H3. And it's the fusion process of hydrogen, thus hydrogen bomb that causes the Hiroshima. Now that was only, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 tons of dynamite, type thing. Now then, the new one we're talking about is fission, where you take those same hydrogen, 3 atoms that could be compressed during fusion and turn around and harness the energy from splitting them from H3 to H1 or H2, and then split them further down to H2O, these kind of things. Fusion is the making something that is a one thing to a two, hydrogen 3, fusion, hydrogen bomb. Fission is taking the same thing, lasing it, making it fuse, break apart, recombine, and you get more energy out than you put in. So if you put 2 megajoules in, you get 3 megajoules out. You know what? It's a net gain. Fusion has been obtained. Or fission. In this case, fission. I said fusion.
So that's basically another form. I mean, it's the same. So electricity is really, if you think about it, you mentioned it earlier, it was a positive and a negative, which is basically the same thing as a 0 and a 1. So you got a computer, and then you've also got the stuff that's going on in our brain, which is like an organic version of it, that we use the sun as our power source. I had this realization with this. What brought this up to me was that I was like, holy shit, we are light creatures. I was like, so you hear people talking about, like, a light worker.
We're stardust.
Man, we are light workers. We do not exist. We do not exist without a sun or some kind of a fake version of it. It just doesn't happen. It's got to be like
we are a we are a stardust organism. Let me put it that way. We need the sun. We need light. We need dark matter. We need radiation. We need chlorophyll. We need protein. We are a stardust organism. We just happen to live on this particular planet. And we actually have society. I'm sitting there looking at my table, walking around the kitchen. Can you imagine if you was just, let's just say you weren't protein-based, and you might be floating around a cloud and seeing the same thing, but only in how you see it with your biochemistry. We just happen to see reality as we see it, but it's only because there's an observer that has a association, a connection to us to let us see the reality we live in. That is where I have found that God and science have coincided. I mean, we've talked about that before, but I really think that's truly why we see it. I think scientific because, the person around me has observed it, has that. Yeah, now that's very, very deep and really far away.
No. I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to tell you how I can tell you how a way it could be both, or it could be just one or the other. Here, I'm sitting there thinking, you mentioned.
Oh, don't worry, I've missed these conversations, so I mean it when I say please.
You mentioned stardust, man, and I was like, stardust, and then I started thinking about all of these really deep documentaries I've watched on the history of our planet, and it was like it was, for a while it got pelted with water, and then it got pelted with this and that and the other, and it looked like it was building something, like the universe was creating a stew. And I thought to myself,
it was creating the universe's version of random.
But listen here, maybe we learned how to package it up, and this thing is forever. We've learned how to package it. We've learned how to freeze dry ourselves, turn ourselves into rock, and then throw out a big wad of water out there and just throw it into space and land somewhere and just re-exist wherever we wanted to. Would that be cool?
Yes, sir. There you go. Thank you very much. You are absolutely saying what I was trying to say. It's what if? You know, it's the open-mindedness to, well, I'm here and I understand the science we get, but maybe we don't understand all the science we have. Which where it goes to, you know, hey, the alternate reality, the matrix, you actually live what you think you know, and it changes when you have realizations. So, like what we were talking about, is I had a couple of realizations, and we discussed them, and it's like, oh, dude, that's great. Well, now my entire universe changed, but it's not threatened because, you know, I expressed something, we changed it. It's not an ordained destiny. It's more a case of you live, learn, and coincide. You know, you and I have had our, you know, downfalls back and forth, but you're my buddy. You're my brother. You're my friend, and I will never leave you. So, you know, there's a few points for you to pivot your life on. It may be different, but I just don't think life is exactly everything we see. I think it's everything you experience and can understand. Let me put it that way. What do you think, brother?
Well, Brecken and I were talking about this the other day, and of course he's been Brecken is close to me. But now we were sitting there and we were talking about it, and he was like, you know, we started talking about the body's biological function of seeing.
Yes.
How, you know, you see
taking a shit. You take in something and suddenly you got a shit. You take in milk products and you go, oh, I got a shit and it stinks. Anything you put in yourself comes out different. Is that what you're trying to say? I'm just asking.
Well, I mean that's a great way of saying it. I mean, but and it's different. So what you're taking in, your sensors only pick up so much. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming in. A lot of stuff we get from the sun. We don't see it. We don't even know we're taking it in, but we are. You know. So.
So I'm trying to support that. I mean, you know, because I don't know everything y'all feel, but I know we have a connection. I know everybody we talk to has a connection, but here's where it goes back to the reality of life. We know there's something, we look at it, but some things mean more to you than me, even if we agree on the same thing. So, absolutely, I'm just saying, the man's right. Go ahead, please. Sorry.
Well, you know, all of it. I mean, you know, to me, getting to be at the age that I'm getting to, I mean, I have to, I want it all. I want everything, you know.
And you should
in terms, but no, I don't want, I'm not talking about material type things. I want experience, you know. I mean, I love it. I mean, sometimes you get too much salt in your stew, you know. You know, sometimes you get too fancy. Sometimes you get too whatever.
Oh, that's a very old school saying. You better remember that. Sometimes you get more salt in your stew. You better remember that, because I am. We're going to be quoting that. That's a good quote. Please continue.
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes, you know, it's kind of like...
You do.
Yeah, I mean, and my dad, so he'll make it, and he'll sit there and he'll get the cooking, and he'll be making it, it'll be just going to, what, holy shit, I think I should put some cinnamon in this. And this is like, you know, barbecue chicken. And then, like, you know.
I want to spice it up more than it actually needs to be. God, I mean, it's just, I understand that.
It's just exactly whatever kind of, like you said, something. Well, I love ponies, and like I say, I don't know. I forget. Maybe had a beer or 3 or 12 or 50 or something. I don't know. Put too much spice in the food, man.
You funny motherfucker. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say. Quit worrying about hurting my feelings. You're not going to. Say it.
No,
I promise you, man. No, I do understand it. I know. I'm being nice.
No, I'm just enjoying, because there are very few people that
we can enjoy this kind of conversation. Yes, that's why I'm doing it.
or even
I love it.
Well, I think it's the way that people should fix things, because there's so much more important that people should be talking and thinking about, expanding your brain and learning about it and putting it in a different framework and coming to it from a different place. I mean, we could have this same exact conversation 3 times a year, and it'd be totally different.
It change every single time, even though we say we mean the same thing and mean it and be true to ourselves. I don't think I believe anything extra than, anything you and I talked about, believed, and, this kind of stuff. It just changed topics a little bit, but at the end of the day, we believe the same. So, yeah, go ahead.
Well, that's exactly, I mean, it changes and morphs, a little bit. Everything does. I mean, like you said, if you're eating cheese one week and crackers the next week and steak the next week, your poo's going to change too, if you eat a bunch of blue candy, you could probably have blue poo.
Oh, see, I don't want any of that. I mean, honestly, I have been wondering. Do what
I'm just saying, I keep kids alive. Of course, you got raised them recently. Of course, if you give kids a lot of blue food, that blue dye in it, which basically steals their soul, it also makes their poo blue. It makes their poo blue. So, anyway, sorry, go ahead with more less guttural.
No, I want to hear more about the blue dye stealing their soul. Please, tell me more. I don't. What? Who's got blue dye stealing their soul?
Well, I mean, you mentioned chemical reactions just a couple of minutes ago. You were like, these chemical reactions. But let me ask you another thing here.
Go ahead.
We've been talking about electricity, and in my head I thought, well, I bet you human beings have figured out a million different ways to get electricity. And we talked about bugs in a jar. We talked about the wires coming in. We talked about the sun, and we've talked about, what about fire? That's almost to me. I mean, it's a chemical reaction, and it's not really electricity, but it kind of is, because it like wood fire, like say a cave in, it builds a fire. I mean, that's their form of electricity.
Well, it is. I mean, because if you think about it, even with nuclear, I mean, all the chemical reactions all involve the release of energy. The release of energy started with the first time cavemen had lightning strike and there was a fire. And then he took it to another piece of wood, and that energy that the lightning imparted on that piece of tree branch, tree stump, pick it. I don't know. I was not there. I hope we understand that. I wasn't there. But at some point, there was an individual we call a Homo sapien, a person, the first person that had enough sense to see crash, light, heat, take this stick that has the light and heat and move it to another stack. Continue this energy conversion. Everybody thinks fire was magic. No, it was just like you. If you were cold and you found a thick blanket to cover over you. You found a way to make yourself feel better. Go way back. I mean, I don't give a poop about the theology or anything like that, but at some point, man, woman, monkey, I would pick the animal, found a way to go from being I'm cold to I am, oh, this is nice. And if I take this wood and stick it on here, I still feel nice. Everybody forgets that the entire civilization, regardless of whether you're human, monkey, cat, catfish, brim, I mean, you pick the many of those. Everybody wants the same thing. They want a little warmth, they want a little love, and they want some little security. That's the way the shit fucking works. Why is that so hard? Your opinion, Brad?
Well, sometimes you have, sometimes sometimes you have this situation to where maybe sometimes there could be some voltage situation off somewhere or the other. I mean, there's some pathways that get messed up.
They get lost. Yeah, they really do, which is why I'm trying to say is, like just me, and I'm talking about me, the person inside this skull, because I keep saying, I was like, look, we are just bio-robots. Everything lives within that gray matter, and it involves electricity. The only way I think is electricity. The only way that I can consider things is electricity, the conductiveness of the brain matter. You are an individual sitting in a bio-robot. It's the pathways that consider it. You think you control yourself, but at the same time, you're influenced. It is the environment. It is the genetics, even though I know there's a huge discussion about that, but you and I have discussed that, I'm not necessarily everything my last name says. So, and then I have some kinfolks that are in the last name. And you look at those differences, that's genetics. That ain't environment. See what I mean? I know it's a very light thing without pointing to the fingers.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, man. Well, anyway, so, all right. So, we can forget pretenses, but what's bothering you over there, man? You sound like are you upset with?
Oh, no, I'm truly not. I'm sitting here. The only thing I'm upset about is just, I wish I could talk to my son more. But, the rest of the stuff, yeah, no, we're good.
Yeah, that's the way I am with mine. I can't talk to mine every day. I had it for 3 or 4 days, though, and I was so happy. But it was, we were so very lucky for him to have been able to go back to where he was at.
Oh, I know. I mean, that's one of the things, you've been talking to our buddy Danny, a lot and stuff, and I've been trying to stay out of it because I had my own thing and it would only add to it, because I feel you. I mean, I've had a lot of the same situations going on, and me saying, "Oh, Brad, yeah," say that would only make it worse. I just kind of left it alone. You know, he's getting better. He's got a job. He's working. He's got a truck. He's got yeah. So I get it. But I don't want to make it worse for you. And poor old Danny, he keeps saying, "I don't know what's wrong with my brother." I said, "Brother, you know what's wrong with your brother. He's an asshole. He's just got to deal with what he's got." It's sad when it gets to the point you go, "Dude, you got to write that fucker off." I mean, not in the terms of actually writing off, but in the terms of, okay, you're stuck where you're at. I will just need to quit worrying about it because you are stuck where you're at. And me as a friend worrying about it don't help anything, but you feel bad about it.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that boy right there, he has not shown up in any way. And I mean, every time, some of it, you know, like his sickness is maybe not his fault. I don't know. But I know that every time I look
but
up
his issues are, you're right. Well, and that's the thing. Is it's like Danny going, "What the hell's wrong with my brother?" I mean, those are things that bother him. And, you know, of course, we're more friends with him than his brother. And so when he talks about his brother, I want to be on Danny's side, but I want to hear his side. But his brother, he don't have a side to offer because his brother is not worth listening to because apparently he has given up. I would really support Danny because Danny's trying to, you know, grow, and you go, man, I hate to say it, but write your brother off. But you can't say that kind of thing. See? But you can think it. If you're an honest friend, you can think it.
Well, yeah, and I don't know how to. I mean, he's talked bad about Jack for a while, and then of course we were like, man, you know, he's talking so bad about his brother. But then over the past year or two, he's kind of changed it to where we're like going, damn, his brother. You know, if you just looked at him on Facebook, you'd think he was, you know, out partying every day, you know, or out being good, you know, just fishing and taking care of his daughter. But, you know, there's other shit he does. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's what I mean. It's like when our brother Danny slips that stuff in, I'm like, dude, I don't see any of that. I've got a cat named Danny. He's coming in here and eating food. What are you talking about? You know, there's just missing information. I don't know how to connect. You know, if it's not there, I can't.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a thing. You know.
Oh yeah. But anyway, so yeah, and of course, you know, Danny, you really have to slow down with Danny. But Danny is so that wood carving thing. And see, the only thing I see out of Danny is that he's a wood carver. And of course, all the rest of it, I just go, well, that must be what good wood carvers do. And I go talk to another wood carver, and they sound just like that. So I'm like, yeah, well, you know, it's just what fucking wood carvers do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and see, that it's kind of a thing. It's, see, I've looked into the same thing. It's like, this isn't what wood carvers do. So, again, it goes back to I'm an overthinker. I'm going, wait a minute now.
No, not all wood carvers.
I am just an overthinker. That's what makes me so horrible. You know, but I know, you know, he is not a wood carver. He's a procrastinator. I am a procrastinator, horribly. You know, so we're actually on the same strain, but he's like, Don, you going to be home? Dude, just come over here and finish. I don't care if I'm here or not.
I think he wants to spend time with you, though. He likes to.
Well, there's the problem. I know that's what he's wanting to do. Yeah. And it's a case of, dude, you can't finish if I'm here. If you want to come hang out, I'm okay with that, but that's like me, you and I. You come up, we sit around, we do a little bit, we talk a little bit. You go home, I go by my business. You come for 8 hours, drag around, this and that, and it's like, dude, are you going to finish this?
Yeah.
I have things to do, and it's a case of, hey, Don! Hey, man. 5 hours later, I go back to finishing my thing. It's like, I get it, man. I know you're bored, and I'm so very sorry, but I ain't the guy you can do this with.
I'm not either, because he was wanting to go fishing one day. I was like, but he wound up coming up and sitting on the front porch with me. And
see,
and it was for 4.5 hours. But I said he got there, he immediately started talking. I didn't even have my shoes tied. He said, "There's no way I could have to wear my shoes like that." I'm like, "Motherfucker, I usually don't. I just woke up." I didn't even say that. And I mean, we just went into talking.
Yeah. Well, I thank you
for weed.
knowing exactly what I'm saying. I don't not like the guys. I'm just not that desperate for attention. I don't mind
in fact,
talking.
I'm the opposite.
I'm more of a, hey, great, okay, well, TTLA.
Yeah.
I am a stay-home person, so. But I know what he said, but I'm like, jeez, dude.
I like in the mornings, I'm kind of one of those. Like, you give me about 20, 30 minutes of conversation going back and forth, and not everything picks up and tracks and goes, but some things do. And that's fun.
There you go.
Like if we figure out some kind of in-between topic everybody can fuck with, that's fun. Politics,
Yeah, see, and that's the thing is, I'll send, a couple times I've sent the Colbert or the Kimmel, and that's what I want is just pick something in this. I've watched this. Please pick something and make a comment, and then we can start a conversation. Because I've had, many things in there. It's like, you see what Colbert said? That's on it, and then you make a comment. Boom. It's a conversation.
Man,
I'm going to tell you, I get to... The feeling that, some of the things he saying just all blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't want to comment on that because I don't want to talk about it. I want to just be general, please.
Yeah. Well, and of course, I try to stay out of that stuff, man. Every once in a while, I tiptoe in it. And the thing of it is, I can argue either way if I wanted to. I don't make a fuck to me. It doesn't mean it's important to me. But now here's the way I think of it though. If he hears 2 or 3 of our conversation, and he picks up something different, even if it's very subtle, and it makes him see how flawed his thinking is.
Oh, yeah, no, he's actually getting there. Yeah, well, I mean, he has been getting there. It's just, oh, man, some of the times I wake up and he says something, dude, I can't even respond to that because the only thing I could say was negative. And I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be negative. You'll say something, and I'm like, okay, so I'll get with that. Then I'm like, well, I can't agree with everything you say because I want to give him the opportunity to rebut, which starts the conversation. That is like I keep saying, devil's advocate. I'm trying to be in the middle so we start a conversation, but sometimes he goes down the road like, I can't even go down that road.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could get yeah, and of course, I'm trying. There's 2 or 3 things you can get him going on.
Yeah.
But now sometimes, see, I think I'm getting past my ego. So what my ego tells me
you ain't
is
had a huge ego. You got a little bit of ego, but you ain't got a huge ego. So, yes, sir, please continue.
But what I was thinking, though, is that I think it would be a good show to have you and him talking and me playing in the middle. Me, in other words, me being the referee. I mean, and not the referee, but I would throw out the topics to talk about and just kind of, and then I would keep it. I wonder what he would say about some of the things that we've talked about today, but perhaps bit from a different angle.
Well, and see, and that's the kind of thing I like. That was the issue with, the kid chick, and okay. So Dean was like, dude, I can't even comment on that because y'all are so outside of my bailiwick, which is where you found Tina, which is absolutely totally fine. I promise you. I mean, I have no problem with that because that's just not an interest I have. In the times we, kind of delve back into where we overlap, we could do that. I wish we had kind of found that middle ground there. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, even with Danny, that's exactly what would be perfect is the interaction between what they think, what they feel, and the truth. My opinion.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Compared to, but the essential point is that is to keep it chilled out.
Keep it chill.
And I can just say, look, and I don't even have to frame it like we're going to talk about differences. I can just say that I went through this very extreme circumstance with my child lately, and I want to get you guys in, you guys
right. Well, you set the stage. We walk across it. Say what we want to say, and then you walk out as the ringleader, as the person that posed the question, and then you do the contrast.
Yeah.
I mean, I really believe that's the way you do that. It's just we kind of missed that in a lot of ways.
Well, we weren't really doing that. We weren't just getting organized.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is that I think that's the way we should do it. It's just we're not quite organized for it, but we were trying. I mean, we had some hiccups and stuff, but
I had to get my technology lined out.
There you go.
I was having to spend way too much time, but now recording on Discord.
Yeah, and you can't do that. I promise you. I mean, hey, my mom was trying to get me to sell her stuff, and said, "Mom, I don't have time to sit and research all this. You research it, I'll post it, and I will sell it. But I don't have time to look up Louis Couture version 4 plates that have tags that look like this. Oh, wait. If it's tag 4, then it's worth $500. If it's tag 3, it's worth $20. I don't have time to look that shit up. I will post it if y'all look it up.
Yeah, and posting it is a whole other challenge. So
and that's why I kept telling them tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look up on eBay, you'll find one listing by Jackrabbit_2. That's me. All right, so it's just, I don't know, Mom, bought this painting it's pretty, but, it's kind of one of those things, but she found people selling for $900 a print. It's a very important and awesome print she picked up from some estate sold, she bought 5 years ago. Well, so I'm taking pictures of it, and she wants to sell it. Well, Mom, this looks like a piece of paper with a woman on it. What's important about it? Oh, it's worth money. So I take a picture and go, eBay, worth money. Those kind of things you have got to do the work for. Now, you bring me a Star Wars cup set, blah, blah, but, I can post that, and it's just, well, I can't post that. I don't know the history of that crap, so.
I need to write out something for you,
And that's what I keep going with. I can do it. Just look it up. I will post it. Well, how do I do it? So, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to do it. All I know to tell you is that's a Ashijo got 1916. You bought it. You look it up. You give me the preference. I know this is a 1987 beer, unopened, Budweiser, worth $27. The bid started at 10.
Yeah.
Just not my bailiwick. I just don't know enough about it. So that's where it's like, no, I ain't perfect. I don't know everything. How about you find somebody that knows something and let me do the rest?
I mean, there's someone that can give y'all a value of it?
No, I'm sure there is, but that's what I mean is, all right, so my mother keeps coming to me to say, you're this expert. Tell me this. Mom, I have zero clue about it. Okay, well, I guess I'll just sit here. Okay, so I actually have to do all the work to find out, is it worth something? Take pictures of it, post it, sell it, share the profit. Can you not do any of it? Well, apparently the answer is no, which is why I was saying is if it's easy, like a Star Wars 1987 thing, selling with shrink wrapper, oh, fuck yeah, I can look that stuff up. But she has so much antique old shit, and it's like, I cannot look that shit up. I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. If you want to sell it, how about get off your ass, tell my brother, or somebody else to give me some info, and then, that's not it. Otherwise, stop messing with me. If you're not willing to do the work, leave me the fuck alone.
Surely, she could carry it to CrossFit Mercantile. Or
I know she can, but she won't. Again, it goes back to, if you're not going to do your side, stop asking, man.
Holy shit. Man.
What happened?
I didn't know what the fuck he brought in here. He came up and he had something in his mouth. I'm like, something wrong with your mouth, motherfucker.
Oh, my cat walked in here with a 3-foot rat last night. Woke my ass up. I had to pack it in a plastic bag. I kept hearing something. I woke up, and there was a 3-foot fucking rat in my bathroom. My white cat was nibbling, and all there was guts, rib cage, and one leg coming out of his head. I was disgusted. I was like, oh, my God.
What the fuck, bro? I'd be like, motherfucker, what is your problem, man?
Apparently aggressive.
Yeah. He's a killer, man. But Duke had Whitney's fucking iWatch thing. I was like, dude, and he dropped it on the concrete in front of me. I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit! I'd rather have been a rat.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm thinking. The rat's not so fucking bad because I ain't got that much paid for yet.
Oh, well, at least mine was some field rat. I mean, truly, it was like a gerbil and stuff. I'm seeing you a picture of my 2 cats that are sitting here, and they're fighting over a rat right now. One's got the tail in his mouth, and the guts are all, oh, my God, I must throw it. That's disgusting. I'm just going to eat that. Get out of here.
Did they just drag it in there?
Yes, they drug it in here, and they're fighting over it.
Oh, my God.
Did you hear that? I don't.
All right, man.
Oh,
I'm gonna let you.
back.